Hello, welcome to your Math 8 remote learning. This is Miss Blanchard. We are going to be learning about linear functions. This should not be a very hard lesson. This is taking us back to our y-intercept days, slope, y equal mx plus b. So what is a linear function? A linear function is a function whose graph is a non-vertical line. A linear function can be written in the form of y equal mx plus b, which we are very familiar with, where m is the slope and y is the y-intercept or the b. Okay. Writing a linear function using a graph. Just a few quick notes, refresher for some, new to some. So just looking at this again to show you how it plays out. An example, use the graph to write a linear function that relates to y, relates y to x. So here goes your graph, okay? The points lie on a line. Find the slope by using the points 2, 0, and 4, 3. Okay, so to find slope once again is m, change in y over change of x. So 3 minus 0. As you can see, I did do, and I'm going to label because I know some of you guys like when I label x1, y1, x2, y2. And if you guys forgot the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. For those of you who forgot, and that's exactly what they did. 3 minus 0 over 3 minus 0 over 4 minus 2, okay? So now that we have our slope, so now we need to write the linear function. Because the line crosses, or that line would cross 0, -3 on a y-intercept, or the y line, that we know that the y-intercept is -3, because if you draw your line, or if you connect the dots, the line crosses on the y-axis at -3. Your b is -3. You have your slope here, and you can write your equation. And that is the linear function. Okay. So once again, this is a refresher for most. A linear function, y equal mx plus b. If you remember that, you'll do just fine on this lesson. Use the table to write. Once again, pick 2 points on the table. Choose 2 points, and the points that I chose were 9 and -3, 7 and -2. Okay? Find the difference of change of y over the change of x, and because the line will cross at the y-intercept of 3 when x is 0. When x is 0, I have my y-intercept of 3. If you can remember that, just remember when x is 0, y is 3. That is your y-intercept. That is your y-intercept. So the b is 3. So I have my b and I have my slope. I can write my linear function, also known as your y equals mx plus b. And there you have it, okay? So just take a look at an example. 2 car services offer to pick you up and take you to your destination. Service A charges you 40 cents to pick you up and 30 cents for each mile of your trip. Service B charges you $1.10 to pick you up and charges C cents for each mile of your trip. Match the services to line L and M. So which one is line L and which one is line M? Well, we can figure that out. What is the initial price? Service A charges you 40 cents, which is the cost in dollars. So if you think about it, 40 cents is a lot less than $1. So we know that M has to be company A. We're going to go with A. And line L has to be company B because it's above $1, okay? And for service B, is the additional charge per mile greater or less than 30 cents per mile of the trip? And explain your reasoning. So for service B, is the additional charge per mile greater or less than 30 cents per mile? Well, let's talk about it. Company B, which is line L, it ends up doing what? Becoming less. The more you travel, it ends up being less than line M. However, if you do not travel a lot of miles, it's still more money. So what can you say about that? The more miles you travel, if you travel more than 7 miles, it is a better price than company A. But if you travel less than 7 miles, then it is more price than company A. I feel as if I'm going to go with, it all depends how many miles you are traveling if you go upon the graph. So once again, you got to be able to read the graph. So here it depends on the miles traveled. Because anything less than 7 miles, company A would be your best bet. If it's more than 7 miles, company B would be your best bet. Okay? So to conclude the lesson, how can we tell if a linear function is increasing from an equation or from a graph? Exactly. You could tell because in a linear equation, y equals mx plus b, if the slope is positive, the linear function is increasing. In a graph, if the line is going up to the left, to the right, I said to the left, I'm sorry, from the left to the right, the function is increasing. Okay? And how can you tell from the graph if the initial value of the function is positive? And how can you tell if from the graph? And if the graph of the function crosses the vertical axis above 0, then the initial value is positive. And if it crosses below 0, the initial value is negative, of course. And in the equation y equals mx plus b, if the b is positive, the initial value is positive. Okay? So please refer back to this PowerPoint. If you need more review, please come to the Zoom sessions at 10:30 and 1:30 Monday through Friday. If you need me, email me. If you do not hesitate. Please stay safe, wash your hands, and keep in touch. If you have any questions, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one and stay safe.